Alright folks, so I'm heavy into sausage production this evening. So I'm making this. I already did the lamb. That's the Korean and the hot. Oh, this is donair then. So the donair has been seemingly a very popular one here that I've made. So I think I've made it more than I've made anything else, and it's the one that the most people ask about. Oops, forgot that I was running out of casing. So this is how I get my casings now. These are what are called tubed, and so they slide right on there, and then I just have to slide the little plastic thing out of it. Way nicer than the other style I got, because I had got ones that, and I still have a bunch to use up, that require you to sort the casing all out and have it kind of lay out on the, you have to, like, it's all in a big knot, and there's like 25 of them in a big knot. These ones are so much simpler. Anyways, so this is I've got the machine turned down a fair bit because I don't want to break them, and I'm still learning this machine. So I've got it turned down so it's not pushing very hard. And what you can't see is that down at my knee is a switch that controls it on or off. And I usually try to make about 25-pound recipes. The sausage stuffer will hold about 50 pounds, but 25 is kind of, I went off with my buddy who does a fair bit of this stuff. He just said 25 is an easier amount to try to mix up and to keep it consistent, and I think he's exactly right about that. So that's what I've been doing. And a 25-pound recipe takes about 3 of these intestines, I guess. So these are a 35 mil natural hog casing, and there's a range because they are natural. Every animal will have a slightly different size, so they just give it to you that it's going to be somewhere within that range, kind of thing. Yes, and for anyone that's watching that isn't a maritimer, a donair is that's kind of a regional thing around here. And I have to, another time I'll give you the recipe for what I'm doing. I could probably give it to you now, honestly, but at any rate, so no, that's not right. So there we go. And I don't profess to know what I'm doing here by any means, but I've been doing it as not tying the end one. I've been just kind of holding it until I get a bit of sausage out. And I guess my reason for that is that when I get down to the end and I'm linking them, if I need a little more room or I need to change something, I'm not constricted by that knot. I can kind of do what I need to. If I need to give a little more or whatever I need to do, I can make the link a little bigger, a little smaller, and I can make that choice at the end when I'm linking it. So that's kind of how I've been going about it. Again, not saying I am any sort of a professional, because I'm not. But I guess at this stage, though, I probably have made close to 1,000 pounds of sausage now, because I'm making about 200 pounds per pig, somewhere around there. Or nah, that's probably a little bit much, but say 140 pounds per pig, because I've had a few bigger pigs go through. throw my averages off. But and then tonight I did a lamb sausage as well. So kind of just working it back and forth, and I mean probably I should have the sausage stuffer turned up a bit, but anyways, this is working for me, so I kind of don't want to mess with a system that's working. When it gets down to the end, it will kind of be a little bit more funny to work with, but and I always have to take about 2 pounds or so out at the end of the recipe that I just take, and I just put it on a loose tray, and I just sell it as like loose sausage meat. So I've got 3 or 4 flavors that I was doing tonight. I'm doing a lamb, I'm doing a donair, I'm doing a Korean barbecue flavor, and I'm doing, what's the last? Oh yeah, just a regular kind of I'm calling it a country hot, but it's basically maybe like a medium Italian. It's not really a hot Italian. It's kind of more in the medium range. So you see, I just took that and I held the end of that casing until I got some sausage stuffed into it. Alright, so now let's try this again. You can see here that thunk. Just going to go back inside. Alright. So, I don't know why that didn't come out as good tonight as it should, because I should have got less than that out of it. So what I do is I just take and put I put these on a little vacuum or a little tray like this, and I just kind of eyeball it to be about a pound. I just get it so that it's about, you know, so I can make, I guess, 2 or 3 equal size packages. So do that, then I'll vac seal them guys, or not vac seal them, I just do them as just on a wrap tray like this. And then a few of the customers here like to use the meat just as like, you know, for spaghetti sauce or for whatever. So this one here would make a great donair if you wanted to just take and spread it out thin on a cookie sheet and just make your own donair meat like that. Nice thin burger, and cook it in the oven, and then you get your donair meat. Now I think it's nice as a sausage, so too, but anyways. So I've got 3 of those. I'll wrap them over in the other machine over here. And now I'm going to get ready to do the next one. So the one I'm leaving till last is the Korean barbecue, because it has the most kind of powerful flavor that will cross over, which is it has sesame oil in the meat. So this is the Italian one. I call it a country hot, but it's not very hot. It's kind of like a medium. But this was my biggest batch tonight. I did a 28-pound batch. It just worked out. That's where that's how much trim I had done up. So I just did it that way. I just readjusted the recipe to kind of take 28 pounds instead of 25. And I guess I picked that one because I had a couple people ask me for an Italian. I don't know. I never know. Because all the sausage has sold, and what I really don't have for information is which one sold the quickest. But I know I probably get the most requests for Donair. And I have made Donair 4 times, and I still have people asking because I think they didn't get a sample because it sold out so quick. So I think Donair is probably the most popular flavor. And then down in this stuffer, I just take this and kind of use my fist and I poke it down, and I do that kind of over and over and over again until I feel like there shouldn't be any air gaps in there. Because if there is an air gap, when it comes out of the machine, it's going to go poof and kind of blow out the sausage casing. So okay, grab a couple more of those. I guess I should try to get that up somewhere handy so I can know when I'm roughly close. So I guess that's not too bad. Turn that up just a wee bit. And now what I kind of do is just wait until I get a little meat at the end. That lets me know that the horn is full. And then I start stuffing. And this is a bit of a trick to try to get this just right, because you want them full, but you don't want them so full that you can't link them, and you don't want them so full that they're going to break when you link them. But you don't want them so loose that they're all loosey-goosey either. So it's like there's quite a trick to it, and I definitely have not got the full trick of this yet. So now this time I got to remember to watch when I'm coming to the end of my casings. So there's the end of that one. That was a big one. It was a big one. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to leave you guys with that. I'm going to stuff I got one more. I got one more to go. One more flavor, which is the Korean barbecue, yet to go. And I'm going to stuff that guy, and then I've got to link all these and hang them. Then I got to clean up the shop and then head for home. And it's currently 12:30 at night. So I've still got lots of work to do here. I probably won't get out of here until about 3 in the morning.